clear walk to the podium, etc., etc. So many reasons why we want to get that perfect. You're seeing the usual dress code for graduation. The females would generally wear white clothing underneath the gown, and the men generally would wear their dark suits. Of course, these days, you know, it's hard to contain people to just say, you know, dark suits because, you know, the means of expression just so much. We want to express ourselves in various ways, but we constantly keep it corporate, that's for sure. And you're seeing that the standard is there, and they are looking absolutely wonderful. The smiles on the faces, I think it tells a story. This is a moment to be savored. This is spanning the region. Many persons would have joined us from across the Caribbean and maybe even further afield. So if you're joining us at the moment, we welcome you. This is the UWI presentation of graduate ceremony for the Faculty of Social Sciences, except for MSBM. MSBM will be held in a separate ceremony tomorrow morning. The University of the West Indies is an internationally recognized institution. Rooted in the Caribbean since 1948, this university has provided service and leadership in its mission to advance sustainable development for the survival of the Caribbean economy and society. We are proud of our institution. It is consistently ranked among the top universities globally, according to the reputable ranking agency, Times Higher Education. Additionally, it is the only Caribbean-based university to make this prestigious ranking since 2018. The UWI is also ranked in the top 25 in Latin America and the Caribbean, and is also featured among the leading universities, according to the Times Higher Education ranking system. We're looking at a full house of graduates. But interestingly enough, the UWI started in 1948 as the University College of London in Jamaica with 33 medical students. And look at us now. Look at them now. Today it is an institution which has approximately 50,000 students and 5 campuses. One in Mona, the other is in St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, the other is St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago, the other is Cave Hill in Barbados, and the 5 Island in Antigua and Barbuda, and the UWI Open Campus. And in addition to that, we have 10 global centers in partnership with the university, and Those partnerships span from North America, Latin America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. We also have impressive programs, and our programs are international in scope with a unique Caribbean focus. The UWI offers over 800 certificate, diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate degree options in culture, creative and performing arts, food and agriculture, engineering, humanities and education, law, medical sciences, science and technology, social sciences, and the newest on the list, sport. These programs, of course, are delivered multimodally. So some of them are delivered face-to-face, others online, and of course the new baby since COVID, blended. The door is closed, and this would indicate that the procession of the graduates or the graduands have come to an end. This is the first of 3 processions. So shortly you are going to be seeing the academic procession, and thereafter you'll also see the Chancellor's procession. The UWI is also an activist university and has been pivotal, or rather a pivotal force in every aspect of Caribbean development. It's been at the center of all efforts to improve the well-being of the Caribbean people. We're also guided by a strategic imperative, and we are now at phase 2 of the UWI's strategic plan. It's called the AAA strategy, with the theme being the revenue revolution. So a lot of things happening here at the UWI. We're seeing the last of the graduates getting to their seats, and we're focused on the faces. We're seeing the marshals getting them together. These graduates would have had to be here sometime in the week to attend a rehearsal, and they would have had to be here pretty early to get themselves gowned and ready. They stood patiently in a line for almost a half an hour for the show to be on time. You're seeing the faces. You're seeing pride, confidence, poise. I'm constantly impressed with moments like these because there's just so much concentration, no distraction. Everyone is focused on the moment or focused in the moment. I see a fan, a mobile hand fan, just to keep the faces looking intact. You're seeing bold orange on the hood. That's the color of the social sciences gowns. That's also the color, well, the hood said in other broadcasts. Orange is also the color of the Faculty of Social Sciences. So as the camera travels, you're seeing on the hood a bold orange. Welcome to all of our viewers online. You are actually watching the UWI's presentation of graduates for the year 2022. And this is the Faculty of Social Sciences, except MSBM. The graduands are standing. Still getting them all together. But we're seeing attitude. There's a smile and a peace sign for the camera. It's good to see that kind of confidence in our young graduands. They will go out into the world to make their mark, as others have done. We have a network of over 237,000 alumni. You heard that. 237,000 alumni. There is no sector of the Caribbean society, including the highest levels of government and business, in which our graduates are not found. Over 25 have risen to become heads of government or heads of state, and countless are leaders of all professions, locally, regionally, and of course, internationally. We have Nobel laureates. In the year 1979, in the year 1992, and many years and many more to come. I think we may also have another one that may not be captured here, but it speaks to the accomplishment of the UWI, no doubt. Hearing the strains of music coming from the UWI Honorary Steel Orchestra, one of our long-standing club here at the UWI that has really morphed into an institution. We could say the same thing for the University Singers. They'll also be on display later on. It's a treat. Known world over, and they never disappoint. Here we are focused on the Panoramic Steel Orchestra, decked out in black and blue, performing as if it's their first show, full of energy, that smile, that joy. What they've done, this is their second show for the day, but they're true performers. And we're seeing the graduands seated. That would indicate that take their places. We now anticipate the arrival of the academic procession. Of course, you'll hear from the Valedictorian also. His name is David Salmon. We are now seeing the PhD candidates, if I'm not mistaken. PhD candidates, you will see in their outstanding, we're still seeing graduands coming in. I think there may be a batch trying to get seated. But thereafter you will see the PhDs coming in, and the Doctor of Philosophy, the PhD, it's a scarlet Panama gown. Let me rephrase. It's a scarlet Panama gown, rather. A scarlet Panama gown of special tropical style with longer and fuller sleeves than that of the master's gown, with sleeves lined and piped black, pointed with facings and yoke piped black. Hood, full shape black Panama, fully lined with red and bound as for the master's hood. You'll have also black velvet mortarboard with black tassel. And the mortarboard, of course, is that cute little black hat you'll see for the PhD students when they come. This is the largest faculty, so we understand why we're seeing longer than usual procession. Graduates coming in. Smiling. You can see that look, the tilt of the head upward, the chest out. There's a whole lot of pride in that room, not the bad pride, the good kind of pride, the ones that we celebrate, the pride that indicate accomplishment and achievement. Again, that orange hood, indicative of social sciences. That's the color for the Faculty of Social Sciences. And from this vantage point, you can see the sea of orange on that blue gown and the beautiful backdrop of the platform. All the flags of the region displayed there. It is truly a regional institution. It's something we celebrate, it's something we demonstrate. You're seeing just fellowship. That's one of the marshals, and genuine feelings of accomplishment. Focusing on our graduands again. Just before the next phase. Now, the academic procession will have certain features. We are awaiting the PhDs. They will come in their usual scarlet Panama gowns. I've just found that out, by the way. I used to just call it red gown. That's a moment of learning for all of us. after the PhD graduates would have taken their places, here they come, led by the marshal. Years of hard work, and the achievement is here. It's the highest of the degrees offered by any tertiary institution you can find. After they have taken their places, the academic procession will follow. Of course, led by the marshals, the Guild of Students, members of the Guild of Students, members of the UWI Alumni Association Jamaica chapter, as well as members of the University and Campus Council. This is the UWI presentation of graduates ceremony for the Faculty of Social Sciences without MSBM. Of course, persons are seeing the cameras focused on them and they're preparing themselves for the best shot. They look absolutely beautiful. And that smile tells the story. And the fans seem to be popular. Outside would have been a little bit warm, and they did spend considerable time out there. That sound of ceremony, that sound of music indicates the academic procession is coming. We'll see that on screen shortly. And that smile again. Oh, those smiles. David Salmon is the valedictorian for this ceremony. He is guided by his grandfather's maxim: the word can't does not exist. Remove it from your vocabulary. Quite an accomplished young man. He's received coveted awards such as the UWI Open Scholarship. He's also received the Caribbean Civilization Prize, and he's been an excellent debater, represented the university at the UWI, at the Harvard Model Assembly, and is now pursuing a Master of Philosophy at the University of Cambridge. He's on a scholarship there, His Royal Highness Prince of Wales Scholarship. So we look forward to that presentation from the valedictorian David Salmon coming up as well. It's nice to see friends talking, rapping with each other. Of course, people are letting them. I'm seeing that some people are actually aware that they're on camera, and they're letting us know. Oh, there are screens in there. I'm told by the technicians that there are screens in there, and they can see. So they're very well aware of the fact that we're seeing them. I'm loving the attitude and just happiness in one space, Jamaica, on a procession coming in. Led by the marshals. Of course, they are walking, coming in from the side entrance. Then they're walking all the way up to take their place left of stage. This is the academic procession, and the academic procession is largely made up of university lecturers, administrators, researchers, an impressive array of experts in that room. And of course, you will hear some students calling out to a favorite lecturer or something, you know. They had a relationship for many semesters with some of these persons. You can imagine the joy they feel now that they are able to see them. You're also seeing the Guild of Students, some members of the Guild of Students coming in there too. The academic procession is made up of the Guild of Students, the UWI Alumni Association Jamaica Chapter, University and Campus Council, and of course the academic staff. We are now anticipating the Chancellor's procession, but before that, I think we will see an item from the University Singers. We talked already about the co-curricular involvement of our students. It's the hallmark of excellence in any institution, and the UWI boasts excellence in those ways, not just in the arts, but in several ways, in sports, in outreach. We do have an impressive set of students and programs here at the UWI. Shortly we'll hear the announcer. That's the sound of the UWI University Singers getting, I'm sure their places, take their places, and we'll hear the University Singers.
Keep your eyes on the prize. So as part of your plan, you have ambition, and the Almighty One as your foundation. Hey, no matter get your stupid from the ordinary wrong, me beg you don't forget your friends and where you come from. If you are deep, remember God not sleep.
Cause I know you're a man and you get well last week.
You up a laugh out the street, but you're beating going sweet because Jack a silent river and you know you run clean.
Throughout history,
Lots of great men and women kept on winning and winning.
so strive.
Step up in life and go for what you know. Strive. Remove the doubt from our Remove the doubt from out your mind and let go flow.
And they're featured in all 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our graduation ceremony, I would like to remind you of a few important matters. Could you please turn your cellular phones to silent or turn them off, please? Please remember that the university provides an official photographer who will take photographs while the graduates are receiving their certificates. Graduates, please be advised that instructions to access your photographs taken during this ceremony will be sent to you via email in due course. No unauthorized persons will be allowed to access the presentation area during the ceremony. The university shares in your pride at this graduation, but we appeal for restraint when the names are called so that all graduates may be able to hear their names clearly. Graduates, you and your guests are expected to remain for the duration of the ceremony. Please keep the aisles clear at all times. Emergency medical service is available at the front, at the undercroft, and at the rear of the tent. As you will have observed, exit signs are clearly marked. You are asked to note the location of the nearest exit. In case of any emergency, the ushers will guide you to the nearest assembly point. At the end of this ceremony, we ask family and friends to remain seated until the graduates' procession has exited the tent. The area will be needed to be immediately prepared for our next graduation ceremony. We are therefore appealing to graduates, families, and friends to assist us by leaving the tent area as quickly as possible. You are welcome to celebrate outside. We wish you a very enjoyable ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the Chancellor's procession.
Sweet
audience will remain standing as the Chancellor's procession comes into view, and you're seeing them here. The Chief Marshal, followed by the campus registrar, deans of faculties, president of the UWI alumni chapter, the Jamaica chapter, the University Bursar, public orator and university registrar, deputy principals and pro-vice chancellors, campus principal, the Honorary Graduand, who is Miss Diane Jaffee, and vice chancellor, chairman of the Mona Campus Council. You'll also see the mace bearer, who is the UWI Mona's Guild president, the chancellor. So, taking their places now. The mace features very prominently in this ceremony. It's a ceremonial mace, and it is generally used in processions relating to parliament and formal academic functions. The platform party is making its way up to the platform. Before now it was empty. We'll now see it populated. Once they all get to the platform, the mace bearer will set the mace in the holder, and this will indicate the official start of the ceremony. That is how important the mace is. Our own Jamaican Parliament has a mace. We're seeing the smiles from the Chancellor's procession. Some of them are identifying students they've worked with, and I'm seeing a tear. Emotional. Culmination of hard work for some of our guardians and loved ones. The mace bearer and the University Chancellor. They have reached the platform, and the mace bearer is waiting. She observes and she puts it in place. She will then take her place on the platform, but the ceremony is officially in motion. Take care.
Please
we break from here. The Chancellor will now speak. I am Roger Bent.
Class of 2022, welcome to your graduation celebration. Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles and Lady Beckles, Campus Chair, Dr. the Honorable Earl Jarrett, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Mona Campus, Professor Dale Webber, Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxill, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar, Dr. Maurice Smith, University Bursar, Ms. Andrea McNish, Campus Registrar, Dr. Donovan Stanbury, Honorary Graduand, Ms. Diane Jaffee, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the academic staff, officers, members of the university, distinguished alumni, Valedictorian David Salmon, graduating class of 2022, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're as pleased to be here this afternoon as I am. After 2 years of a very disruptive period when the graduation ceremonies had to be done online, it is wonderful to be here with you today to be able to celebrate in person your wonderful achievement. My heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. You have the special distinction of having completed a significant part of your programs during a very difficult period. And I commend you all for staying the course. It is time to celebrate that hard work, and it is truly my honor and pleasure to greet you all here on this special day. First, I will ask you to thank the loved ones who made this journey with you, your parents, partners, spouses, and children. They have been there while you burnt the midnight oil to complete assignments or prepare for exams. You shared the confinement imposed by the COVID pandemic and faced the many frustrations. This is a collective achievement for many of you, and I urge you to find ways to express your gratitude to your most ardent supporters and cheerleaders. Even as we celebrate, you ask yourself, what next? Over the past 2.5 years, we have seen the world change. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic showed us how much could be done online and the important role that information and communication technology could play in our daily lives. The university pivoted to emergency remote teaching, and I applaud the leadership and staff at every level for the tremendous work that was done to ensure that you completed your programs and that you were able to graduate today. We saw the resilience of the virus as it mutated. We saw the response of global citizens, the resistance as well as the willingness to embrace the science, the ability for us to use a vaccine to turn the tides against the virus. The mixed response has led in part to our new normal, a cautious coexistence with COVID, and the fervent hope that the worst of the pandemic is now behind us. The pandemic laid bare the social inequalities in our society, and governments around the world and at home in these Caribbean islands have been grappling with how to recover from the unexpected negative impacts on our national budgets. Economic recovery must take into consideration social issues, and our university and you, our graduates, have a role to play on how well your community and your country thrive in this new normal. Then, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. This has far-reaching implications for global supply chains in our highly globalized world, as we have already seen. How well small developing countries, particularly like those in the Caribbean, who are highly dependent on imports and on fossil fuels, cope with the possibility of food insecurity, rising prices of basic items, and increased unhappiness, uneasiness, and deprivation among its citizens will depend on the ability of the governments to apply principles of democracy in managing these countries. You, our graduates, represent all facets of Caribbean society. The responsibility for fostering and nurturing those democratic principles are now in your hands. That is not to say that you must undertake the role of government. Higher education plays a role in the democratization of societies by encouraging graduates to be critical thinkers, to be objective in assessing the information available, and to be open to new schools of thought, in the hope that that information will be used for the advancement of the societies in which you exist. Graduation is a time when those of us on this side of the ceremony view with enormous pride the procession of graduates across the many disciplines. The wondrous gathering of brilliance represents so much promise for the betterment of our societies and economies. You have much responsibility to carry forward, but I have faith in you, in your determination to make a difference. I have alluded to the challenges you faced to complete your programs and make it to this day. You are strong, resilient, determined, and I am so very proud of all of you. Many of you will be thinking about how you convert your degree into a career or into a promotion or some new job. What are the options available to you? Traditional careers have transformed and now encompass so many exciting areas. Many of the professions today did not exist 10 years ago, and in 10 years' time, many of the jobs of today may no longer exist. Entities such as Forbes magazine and the World Economic Forum have been tracking the trends in careers and making projections about areas that are fast-growing and with high earning potentials. Some of these are expected: information technology, healthcare, financial management, data analytics. But there are many more, and I urge you to keep searching and understand the future and position yourselves where you will make the most difference and where you will have the most successful and rewarding careers. I ask that whatever you do in the future must be impactful, done to a high standard, with a commitment not only to improving and advancing your personal interests, but those of the wider community as well. I urge all of you to be kind to yourself. We often forget the importance of taking care of our own health. In today's new operating environment, mental health is as critical as physical well-being. It is important that you should dream large, but at the same time, keep your feet rooted in reality. Today, we will be presenting an honorary graduand who is a trailblazer, thought leader, innovator, disruptor of the best kind, who has contributed to improving society through their respective discipline and field of endeavor. Take your lead from their example and be a positive influence in everything you do in the future. I ask you to give back to your alma mater. There are many ways in which that can be done that are not financial. Be a mentor to young students, serve as adjunct faculty or technical advisors in certain areas. There are multiple ways and opportunities to contribute to ensuring that the work and reputation of this university, which has given you so much, remains high. Wherever you are, the alumni associations will reach out to you. Remain connected to the university and remain connected to each other as you travel your journey through life. This leg of your academic journey is done. You are the lights of the West, Go forth and show the rest of the world the brilliance of this region, which we love so much. Thank you. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain of our members into the company of graduates and the academic achievement of others. As a university, we are an academic society of undergraduates, bachelors, masters, and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement of learning, purposes which are laid down in the preamble to the Royal Charter by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, our members advance from time to time to a higher standing in the academic community, and it is proper that as a body we should celebrate their achievement. It is marked by the granting of a degree, diploma, or license, or certificate, and we rejoice with our graduates on their achievement.
Chancellor, I now ask the public orator, Dr. Livingston White, to present Ms. Diane Jaffee, whom the Senate and the Council of the University have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Chancellor, today I am reminded of the Jamaican proverb that says, "Good friend better than pocket money." Although not a Caribbean native, our honoree has indeed proven to be a great friend and partner to the region, one who has our best interest at heart and one whom we most greatly treasure. Chancellor, I present Ms. Diane Jaffee. Growing up in Albany, New York, Ms. Jaffee learned from her family experience the role that education plays in an individual's ability to secure a sustainable future. Early on, she arrived at the conclusion that with every educational level completed, one's economic status is increased. Then, while in college, Ms. Jaffee added to this outlook a determination to bridge the gap between capital and labor, and her interest in understanding finance began to increase. She profited from these insights and came to realize the necessity of financial wellness in attaining an education. With almost 40 years of investment experience, Ms. Jaffee, since 2001, has been a part of the US-based leading global asset management firm TCW, originally known as Trust Company of the West. She is presently the senior portfolio manager for several value-oriented strategies and funds within the organization. Her career successes have resulted in her being the recipient of numerous awards for top-performing large and mid-cap mutual funds. Likewise, her magnanimity has brought deserving recognition, her having also received the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies Corporate Award in 2010. Ms. Jaffee holds a Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Wellesley College and has completed postgraduate work in finance and accounting at Rutgers University Graduate School of Management. A chartered financial analyst charter holder, she has served many organizations, being a member of the New York Society for Security Analysts, the Economic Club of New York, the board of Carnegie Hill Neighbors, and most recently, the board at Bryn Mawr College. For the past 25 years, Ms. Jaffee has invested in the education of many talented youngsters in the Caribbean. Through the American Foundation for the UWI, she has donated to scholarships for students of our university, having also served in various capacities on the Foundation's Gala Leadership Committee. Not only does she put her ducks in the education row, but she is also a frequent contributor to major cable and financial media networks such as CNBC Halftime Report, Reuters, and Bloomberg. Alongside her husband, Mr. David O'Brien, she continues to support many other philanthropic programs across the globe. As a product of their passion to promote the welfare of others and their consequent generosity, the couple has established the O'Brien College Education Dream Come True Fund. Chancellor, I invite you, by the authority vested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies, to confer upon our corporate leader, forward-thinking financier, and focused philanthropist, Diane Jaffee, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By the Senate and Council of this university, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa of the University of the West Indies. Congratulations, Dr. Jaffee. Dr. Jaffee will now address the company.
Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez, Vice Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles and Lady Beckles, Chairman, Campus Council, Dr. the Honorable Earl Jarrett, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI, Mona Professor Dale Weber and his wife, Professor Mona Weber, Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxall, Pro Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar, Dr. Morris Smith, University Bursar, Mrs. Andrea McNeish, Campus Register, Mr. Donovan Stanberry, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the academic staff, officers and members of the university community, distinguished alumni, Valedictorian David Salmon, graduating class of 2022. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this deep and gracious honor that you've bestowed upon me. I'd like to call out to my dear friends, Winston Bailey, Archie Campbell, Mrs. Andrea McNeish, and Anne Marie Grant for this long association that has enlivened me and brightened me so much over the last 25 years. Dr. Livingston White, the time you spent with me and your kind words mean the world to me and my family. Thank you. But look at all of you. Your beautiful faces and minds are ready to set sail on the sea of possibilities, smiling because your dreams about what is possible are now probable. May I tell you a secret? I have heard on good report that this is the best graduating class in the history of the University of the West Indies. True. But we all know it has not been easy. No, it has not. There have been unforeseen expenses, COVID, sickness, canceled classes, working multiple jobs while studying, family drama, and statistics. And that's not all of it. My generation hasn't done its best, and there is a hot mess out there outside these campus walls. It seems pretty dire and seemingly out of our control. But to paraphrase John F. Kennedy, that is a dangerous and defeatist belief. Our job is not to accept that things are outside of our control. Take responsibility, he urged. Our problems are man-made. Therefore, they can be solved by us. Your class is uniquely qualified to solve these problems. Your use of technology during COVID, building networks where there weren't any, surmounting obstacles for which no one was prepared is powerful. And the world is going to need every one of your brains, hands, and hearts. Every anthropologist, every economist, every government student, public affairs specialist, social scientist, and social worker. We're going to need you all. And let's not forget your friends, your classmates, and your classmates who will become your friends perhaps today on this happy occasion or down the road. You're going to need them too. You have shared this journey together, and like a sibling, they will be genetically coded and closer to you than anyone else. Your educational investment in yourselves started long before UWI, but it was polished and honed here. And UWI will be forever bonded with you too. It's on your resume, every job application, and every work biography from here until forever, and it's going to help you. Your degree represents a step on the ladder that can never be taken away from you. It's a new step that will help you get where you want to go. Economists have statistically proven that for every level of education you attain, you propel yourself up to another socioeconomic class. So let's not stop here. Keep going on your educational journey. You just can't sit back and say it's all coming to me now. If you're lucky and smart, you will keep learning. Get that advanced degree. Take that Excel certification course. Become a CPA or a chartered financial analyst. Learn something new every day. Be curious and ask how things work. Understand first and see then if there are better ways to do them. I work in the world of finance, where companies and professionals have their own growing pains. Some make more of themselves than they ever believed possible. Many more falter and have to pick themselves up and start again. Some give up. But oh, not you. You won't give up. I can tell. Don't give up. I'd like all the economists, please, to raise their hand. Please, I want to see you all. So when I was sitting in your chair back a long time ago, I didn't really have a crystallized plan. I didn't really have the job that I wanted, but I was burning with desire to go and prove myself. My parents had 3 kids, and they basically hocked the house to send us all to college. I still had a lot of student debt after I graduated. But keep plugging along, and finally I got a junior analyst position at Prudential Insurance. And I called up my dad and I said about the first week, and I said, I think I know the difference between a stock and a bond, but could you just go over it for me, please? And he laughed, and he told me to go on, and I was helped by him, by my mom, and also by the people that I met along the way. So make friends with your college classmates, your office workers, because people will help you, and you're going to need them. So 50% or more women graduate with a degree in economics or an MBA, and they are less than 16% in the world of finance. Why is that? To me, what I loved about finance is that you get measured every day. If you have a portfolio, guess what? Your boss is going to know if you are, making money for our clients or not. To me, as a woman who is not really widely accepted in this financial role, I liked the idea that finance had a measuring stick, that I could prove myself every day. And some days were pretty hard, but you have to keep going. There's another thing about women, though. It helps when things get tough, we tend to put our head down and just say, okay, I'm going to do the good work. And we graduate and we do well in academia, but not necessarily so well in the world of business. And that is because I think that while we have learned to put our head down, we also need to stand up. We also need to be able to speak and say, here's my work, judge me for my work, stand up and speak, because you can do it. I know you can do it. So some of you are asking, okay, why the heck is Diane up here? And frankly, I kind of asked myself that too. And the reason I asked myself that is because I didn't make any innovative patents or develop a new technology or engineer, something that would help reduce the utility bills for you. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I was lucky that my parents really did everything they could to have me go to college. I was lucky they had a house to hawk. But my roommate wasn't so lucky. She was as smart as me, or even smarter. And her parents were divorced, and it was not amicable. And literally, every week, they would call her into the bursar's office and say, you haven't paid your tuition. And she didn't make it. She didn't graduate. You have graduated. And so that inspired me to say, you know what, the best give I can give back is financial aid. I didn't have to take it because of my parents and loans, but there's so many people who don't have that ability to pay for it on their own. And so therefore, it is with great honor that I contribute to financial aid. And I am desperately hoping that you will earn those patents, that you will become the next financier with a great track record. I am desperately hoping that you will be the social worker that helps lift people up. I am desperately hoping that these monies will be multiplied and that you will multiply them again and again. Remember, you are your own portfolio, right? When things don't seem to be going the way that you think they should be going, remember to invest in yourself. Remember to invest in education. You are your own best investment. And a lifelong journey of learning and giving back to your families and community will be rewarding in all the best possible ways. But here is a financial pro tip. Also start saving. Open an investment account. Save 10% of every year's earnings in a broad-based world market stock fund, an ETF. No amount is too small, and there are accessible programs for everyone. I also want to emphasize there is no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. Avoid them at all costs, even if they're from your family. Keep moving forward. Today is the first day of an amazing adventure. Help a mate tackle a problem. If there's trash on the side of the road, pick it up. Some politician made a restrictive law, join an advocacy group and change it. If there's not an online course, start it. Democracy is on the line. Vote. Run for office. Take responsibility, John F. Kennedy said. It's scientifically proven that those who take responsibilities for their actions are happier. Why is that? Because then you are in control. It is not out of your control. Because when you understand that you are responsible for your actions, then you can change them. And hopefully the next outcome is better, and the outcome after that. During this process, try to be objective. Step outside yourself, because looking at a reflection, shines the light only one way. Kennedy inspired graduates to strive for the biggest goals. There is a better world out there. And you have the ability and the power to make it so. This gives us all hope. My wish for you is multifold, that you are all happy and healthy and productive members of society, that you learn something new every day, that you are continuously curious and keep asking, how does this work? That you are generous and kind, because while you know that what you're going through is rough, the other person could be going through something horribly unimaginable. If you make these wishes come true for you, it is a promise. You will have no regrets and lead a full and happy life. I thank you again for this most gracious honor. I am humbled by it. And indeed, Sir Hilary is right. This is the best graduating class in the history of the University of the West Indies, one of the greatest universities in the world.
The university singers will now perform.
Really love to ask, is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own soul? One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. Pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one Chancellor, the persons whose names will be called studied in the University of the West Indies. And having fulfilled the requirements of the University of the West Indies, beg leave to be presented to you and to the Senate of the University by the representative of their faculty as Bachelor of Science or Associate of Science or as holders of diplomas of the University. Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Heather Ricketts.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive as graduate members of our society these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to bachelor's degrees or have been awarded diplomas of this university.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called and those who are unable to attend as graduate members of our society.
Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, I present Adawi Aiken, Lourdes Anderson, Torre Anglin, Shadian Arthur, Dana Atkinson, Chris Andrew Baker, Matthew Baker with first-class honors. Regina Balfour, Brandon Barnes, Andre Barrett, Jonathan Barrett, Monique Barrett with first-class honors. Tonian Barrett, Joseph Bartlett, Ricardo Barton with first-class honors. Renice Barton, Teresa Barnett, Venetia Bassier, Nicole Beaumont, Fedia Bendor, Sheldon Bent, Shania Blackwood, Brandon Blake with first-class honors. Sharice Blake. Patricia Bolt. Kamala Booth. Andreen Bowen. Deavian Bowen. Latifa Brown. Nashe Brown with first-class honors. Patrice Brown. Rajni Brown. Rashima Brown. Rahodia Brown. Shante Brown. Catherine Bryan Rattry with first-class honors. Serena Bryan. Janae Bino with first-class honors. Kamala Brown with first-class honors. Kadian Brown. Chevelle Campbell. Naomi Campbell. Nardia Campbell. Salome Campbell. Trina Gay Campbell. Shantavia Cardosa. Troy Cardwell with first-class honors. Sandrine Christie. Ashane Iris. Brittany Clark with first-class honors. Kareem Vassell. Kareem Vassell. Shante Clayton. Fabian Copeland. Frederica Chung. Chantal Clark. Nishay Costley. Monet Craigwell with first class honors. John Ann Davy. Kitania Dale. Shanil Dennis. Ashley Dixon. Diana Douglas. Jadine Kane. Tony Ann Duffus. Latavia Dunn. Alyssa Durant. Abigail Dyer. Totlin Eastwood Bloomfield. Rashawn Edwards. Adrena O'Connor. Yakini Edwards. Ashley Ellis. Noel Ellis. Dominique Ferguson. Diane Fletcher. Hallie Fletcher with first class honors. Candace Crawford. Danielle Forbes. Alex Ann Forsyth with first class honors. Shamoya Gale. Javon Beckford. Kevin Gale. Marika Gibbs. Matthew Gillespie. Shade Givens. Cheyenne Golab. Cheryl Gossop. Danielle Campbell. Zetrine Graham with first class honors. Ashley Gray. Lauren Gray. Jelena Green. Kadia Green. Abigail Guy. Romania Hansen. Grace Harrison. Danielle Harris. Peter Hartley. Shanika Haynes. Chrisanne Henry. Keena K. Henry. Shanil Henry. Shasty Hibbert with first class honors. Alexia Hibbert. Lexi Ann Hudson. Shanice Hunt. Abigail Hyman with first class honors. Glendon Johnson with first class honors. Nisha Johnson with first class honors. Omari Johnson. Natalie Blackwood. Janelle Jones. Sharika Labich. Kamoy Bates. Denise Laidlaw. Karine Johnson. Jodianne Lafayette. Josine Leng. Ashley Lewis. David Lewis. Delonte Lewis. Dadrian Lewis. Ashley Lindo. Genevieve Lindo. Deante Livingston. Tajay Bailey. Anika Dillon. Shani Lingo. Georgia Bugum. Kenise Naismith. Naismith? Kayla Bent with first class honors. Robert Baker with first class honors. Altamont Luke. Shanae Merritt. Shamon Martin. Delacia Mattison. Jessica Main. Andrew McDaniel with first class honors. Patrice Clayton with first class honors. Sarah McGrath. Britannia McEachran. Deja McIntosh. Makeda McClegan with first class honors. Kimona Kenlock. Yamishe Jones with first class honors. Javar MacDonald. Maurice McLean. Sidonie McNee with first class honors. McVoy. Anya McVoity. Kevin Miller. Janelle Miller. Aaliyah Morgan. O'Shane Morrison. Brianna DaCosta. Michaelia DaCosta. Stephanie Nash. Shalicia Neal. Shaquille Nemhad. Tiana Peart. Tonianne Percy. Gabrielle Perkins. Indra Plowright. Tanisha Porter. Garnet Gowans. Asta Prendergast. Kashima Pine. Daniel Ramsey. Radishi Redwood. Shanil Reed. Malika Ricketts. Natalie Robinson. David Salmon with first class honors. Trishelle Salmons. Akeem Samuels. Andrew Donegal. Livia Sanderson with first class honors. Ravona Scarlett. Shanique Scarlett with first class honors. Kelsey Xiao with first class honors. Dedrian Seville. Anicia Simon. Shalisa Smith. Kayan Stone with first class honors. Ajay Singh. Rohan Small. Malik Smith. Peter Ann Lawrence. Trevor Smith. Nakinski Robinson. Anissa Spence. Kim Marie Spence. Chantal Spencer with first class honors. Lancine Sterling. Najani Stewart with first class honors. Dacia Shaw. Javane Smith. Lamar Robinson. Tawana Pasley. Sharika Simmons. Rashane Calvert with first class honors. Roseanne Allen. Alexia De Paz. Denise Squire with first class honors. Afia Smith. Stacy Tavares. Alex Taylor. Malcolm Taylor. Dalkeith Thomas with first class honors. Janelle Thomas. Shamar Thomas. Simone Thomas with first class honors. Ashley Thompson. Jodianne James. Brittany Thompson. Nordia Thompson with first class honors. Disha Trail with first class honors. Shasoy Vassal. Katrina Vidal. Kenisha Walker with first class honors. Marcy Ann Walker. Nastasia Walker. Anna K. Walters with first class honors. Tinaska Weston. Peter Gay West. Shamar Wheeler. Shawai White. Morgan Whitaker. Grayson Logan. Janelle Dawkins with first class honors. Shanil Douglas with first class honors. Nicholas McIntyre. Adrian White. Britannia Williams. Daniel Williams. Daniel Williams. Keno Williams with first class honors. Shantae Williams. Shalise Smith with first class honors. Khadidra Wedderburn. Tracy Williams. Tichina Hudson. Natasha Williams. Melissa Williams. Kayla Williamson. Jamila Wright. Kayla Wright. Tiana Wright. Nia West. Christabel Wright. Ashley Ellis with first class honors. David Williams. Adriel Yankee with first class honors. Asher Hussey. Tyreek Armstrong. Chanel Zimenez. Tanise Townsend. Tasia Riley. Janelle Ferron with first class honors. Mishika Bryan. Brittany Nemhard. Rashida Nelson. Dione McFarlane with first class honors. Abigail McHale. Brittany Lee. Chrisanne Atkinson. Aaliyah Graham. Lexian Hines. Camille Williams. Candice Barrett. Bethany Parchment. Shante Gale. Jamoy Phillips. Tanisha Gale. Monique Green. Zadika Cousins. Ashley Thompson. Shanae Kelly. Danielle Dennis. Rika Paul Nehemiah. Akello Morgan. Michael Pan with first class honors. Roxanne Thomas. Danette Taylor with first class honors. Kimona Roach. Ricky Brown. Lamoy Williams. Kareem Dunn. Shanique McKenzie. Tanisha Bogle with first class honors. Anise Taylor. Annika Ellis. Jan Josephs with first class honors. Kareem Walker. Acacia Brown. Kristen Duhaney with first class honors. Trisana Wilson. Ewan Vassell. Purcell Jackson. Tonianne Samuels. Susan Kamika. Jamel Brown. Dennis Daniels. Tajay White. Abigail White. Renee Bartley with first class honors. Shikia Stevens with first class honors. Joel Thomas. Adeniki Morris. Ronell Hutchinson. Shamika McIntosh. Jeon Dunbar. Saisha Bryan. Crystal Burton. Jodianne Malcolm. Nikashe Smalling. Romario Clark. Khalees Sinclair. Ashika Christie Bailey. Anissa Staple. Khadija Koal. Deshanel Wilson. Ashley Tomlinson. Devika Kumar. Khadija Iwaduki. Kesia Henry. Jade Richardson. Lenicia Francis. Sharona Gale. Shanae Troop. Tahalia Talbert. Akisha Fairweather. Trisha Hall. Ashley Singh. Lisanne Lumley. Trevin Hall. Chantal Brown. Paulia Pusey. Samoy Stewart. Abigail Thomas with first class honors. Felicia Tyndall. Caressa Manning. Brittany Spence. Kimani Shaw. Caraldine Ramdat with first class honors. Trisania Clark. Mohammed Phillips. Daniel Gale. Annika Ferguson. Pallavi Brown. Brianna Green. Aviel Wright. Kedar Reese. Marquino Wright. Athena Miller. Ashley Mercurius with first class honors. Ashley White. Amoy MacDonald. Jada Clark. Mark Green. Alafia Cox. Letitia Lewis. Khadija Grenion. Najiba Smith. Delano Ellis. Kayla Evans. Kari Lawrence. Tian Todd. Khalees Grossett. Marika Simpson. Megan Ferron. Tashika Bowen. Tanika Wellington. Shanice Silvera. Telsa Small. Brittany Ennis with first class honors. Shavar Jones. Shanna K. McKinley. Kadian Taylor with first class honors. Melissa Bernard. Shannon Johnson. Shannon Ritchie. Taja Henry. Kimon Chin. Emily Dujon. Dominique Darling. Natalia Stennett with first class honors. Shantoy Allen. Yonique Nelson. Abigail Evans. Romel Hamilton. Tamara Turner with first class honors. Trevina McIntosh Nagasar Singh. Tanise Haynes. Orain Campbell. Brianna Rowe. Chantel McKenzie. Brittany Miller. Mikhail Jackson. Jade Shepard. Felicia Robinson. Alex Anderson. Tishana Baker. Christopher Blake. from the open campus, I present Beverly Anderson with first-class honors. Laverne Angus with first-class honors. Odane Beckford with first-class honors. Tashima Earl with first-class honors. Althea Hare. Anne-Marie Morant James with first-class honors. Colleen Strawn with first-class honors. Shauna Smith with first-class honors. Abigail Sparks. Sachelle Stevenson. Jillian Trail. Nordia Pennant with first-class honors. Janelle Orr. Carisha Francis with first-class honors. Dione Barrett.
I now call on the valedictorian, Mr. David Salmon, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science, Public Policy and Management with a minor in International Relations, first-class honors, to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez. Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles and his wife, Lady Beckles. Chairman of the Campus Council, Dr. the Honorable Earl Jarrett. Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the UWI Mona, Professor Dale Webber and his wife, Professor Mona Webber. Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxill. Pro-Vice Chancellors and Principals. University Registrar, Dr. Maurice Smith. University Bursar, Mrs. Andrea McNeish. Campus Registrar, Dr. Donovan Stanberry. Honorary Graduate, Miss Diane Jaffee. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Members of the academic staff, officers and members of the university community. Distinguished alumni, graduating class of 2022. Families, friends, Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is perhaps the first time I'm seeing so many fellow students in one august gathering. And can I tell you that your Orville profile photos did not do you justice at all. What a phenomenal group of graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, these graduates here embody the spirit of excellence. I'm honored to stand here to represent the bravest, brightest, boldest, and best cohort of graduates this exemplary institution has ever produced. In preparing this speech, I had the opportunity to reflect with friends and classmates about what it means to be a UA student. I believe that the word that best embodies our journey was resilience. When we entered the corridors of the university, excitement was in the air. From orientation, we met our first friends who became our new family. They were the source of all of our spontaneous lives, and they accompanied us as we battled for who would become the true Hall of Halls. Who could forget homecoming, where clubs, halls, and societies gathered to present a potpourri of their strengths, traditions, and achievements. Music and dance were the order of the week, and students could look forward with bated breath to their exciting future at this institution. But anything was sweet you, going sour you, radam. The COVID-19 pandemic came like a sledgehammer, and lockdowns placed us in the prime position to evaluate UA's new online degree. This experience was characterized by challenges including internet connectivity, loud younger siblings, and even camera malfunctions. Many of us lost loved ones, including myself, who saw the passing of my grandmother, Miriam Salmon. This was a difficult time, and some struggled to maintain motivation. Every individual here had to look within themselves to know their true mettle. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we survived and we thrived. Us being here today is a testament to our internal strength. It is also a demonstration of the invaluable support given by our lecturers who never cease to find new ways to engage us. They were our mentors, our guides, and the torchbearers of inspiration. To our lecturers, I say on behalf of this year's graduating class, thank you. Our university community was created by a kaleidoscope of personalities that gave life to the new remote reality. In my view, the jigsaw puzzle icon on Orville illustrates how each of us had a role to play in the bigger picture. Some of us played the role of always being willing to participate. Some were the motivators. Some were the late bloomers, and some ensured that notices always reached the many class WhatsApp groups. Then there were others who were comfortable with silence, and yet they never failed to consistently check up on fellow students not seen in class. But you always had that one unforgettable character that you would hear from in every lecture. This person could always be trusted to brighten any day. Regardless of our part in the jigsaw puzzle, we worked together to achieve a common goal, one that helped us to keep our heads above the storms of adversity. Now, COVID-19 was not the only disruption we witnessed. Let's not forget that last year, our brothers and sisters from St. Vincent experienced the eruption of La Soufrière. The speed at which support was given from UE students across the Caribbean illustrates that collaboration is here to stay. Unity can be forged through the shroud of disruption. That is a major takeaway that will serve us in the years ahead. The Faculty of Social Sciences underscores the importance of building well-rounded individuals. In April of this year, fellow graduate Asta Prendergast led the university's delegation that stamped its mark on the virtual Model OAS General Assembly. This is just one of many examples that show the tremendous job our faculty has done in arming us with the skill sets to make our dreams a reality. Thus, they must be commended for providing opportunities such as internships and facilitating the weekend program, which allows for busy professionals to get access to world-class education. Today, many of us who completed this journey are rewriting history to become the first in our families, the first in our districts, and the first in our communities to graduate from a tertiary institution. For example, we have Jamel Brown, the selfless and dedicated son of a domestic worker and handcar driver. This young man from Tower Hill was the recipient of the UE Premier Award for Leadership, and he is the first university graduate in his family. This determined young man created the university's largest student hub that provided a range of job openings, scholarships, and grants, thereby ensuring that there were other firsts like him. Certainly, we too have a duty to ensure that there are other firsts and that we are not the last. While these high points must be recognized, it is also necessary to acknowledge those who we lost along the way. Let us take time to remember Tavon Bulging and others who would have graduated this year. Their lives were like comets that blazed in the night sky as they transitioned into eternity. We also continue to ask for support from the general public in gaining truth and clarity about the whereabouts of Jasmine Dean. Who would have also been a fellow graduate today. As we go on to make new memories, I take this opportunity to challenge our regional governments to build a brighter future for our youth. If we are going to create a society where graduates would not want to migrate, governments must increase their support to the university. If tertiary education is important, make the investment that you have committed to. To alumni of this noble institution, I also charge you to give back to the next generation of Pelicans. This will assist others like us to access education so we do not have to wish upon the stars for a miracle to come through, for the financial hole to disappear. Fellow graduates, let us remember to soar to new heights where we can demonstrate our strength, resilience, vitality, and creativity. Indeed, there is nothing wrong with the Caribbean that cannot be fixed by us. Thank you all.
Sir, I now call on Professor Marcial Roy, Director, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of higher degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate diplomas or have been admitted to master's degrees, and we beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend, postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
Sir, for the Masters of Science, Clinical Psychology, I present Alexandria Johnson. Nicola Panchu, with distinction. Sir, for the Master of Science Development Studies, I present Vulraldo Bennett, with distinction. Lauren Cleary. Davia Howard. Camille Irving. Morgan Phillips, with distinction. Stephen Richards, with distinction. Dominic Williams. Sir, for the Master of Science, Economics, I present Cherise Bailey, with distinction. Brucan Bowell, with distinction. Shanika Brown. Tania Cadogan. Romario Cameron. Tariq Dixon. Janelle Grant. Kisana Gunn. Keneal Jackson. Carissa
Lawrence. Brittany Powell. Emoy Young with distinction. Sir, for the Masters of Science Government, I present Travis Barrett with distinction. Damar Clark. Giovan Halstead. Erika Harris with distinction. Jeremy Jones. Corey Page Jones. Sandre Roden. Siobhan Robinson. Glenroy Smith. Sean Schultz. Sir, for the Master of Science Human Resource Development, I present Anne Emile. Damian Anglin with distinction. Chantal Artwell with distinction. Nadisha Berry. Nikisha Burke with distinction. Errol Chavez with distinction. Michelle Cole with distinction. Shanique Dillian with distinction. Felicia Doman with distinction. Camille Drakes with distinction. Philip Earl. Pearl with distinction. Cadian Edwards. Susan gonna sing. Rashina Gonzalez with distinction. Chantal Hardy. Paula Henry Hall with distinction. Jennifer Howard with Shanae Jenkins. Jodianne Prendergast with distinction. Shauna K. Reeves. Hooray Reed. Tiffany Turnbull. Marco White. Sir, for the Masters of Science, International Public and Development Management, I present Danielle Armstrong. Danielle Brown. Diana Campbell. Carrie-Ann Crawford. Sharika Daly. Kenisha Duff. Jamonte East with distinction. Kevin Farquharson. Shanice Fuller. Luke Paul Golden. Chevelle Grant with distinction. Zane Hall. Raquel Hyman Mitchell. Janoy Leith. Tashay Phillips. Anil Sharp. Alicine Webb Brown. Charlene Williams. Siobhan Williams. Sir, for the Masters of Science, Political and International Cooperation, I present Brianna Campbell. From the Mona campus, sir, for the Masters of Social Work, I present Shernette Todd. Sir, for the Masters of Science Sociology, I present Rochelle Reed with distinction. Sir, for the Masters of Science Management and Educational Leadership, I present Khadijah Alexander with distinction. Natalie Gordon with distinction. Lisa Lee. Troy Rogers. Eileen Williams Dawkins. Eileen Williams Dawkins. Sir, for the Masters of Science Management Studies, I present Amanda Forbes with distinction. Jennifer Brown Cunningham. Felicia James. Caroline Michael with distinction. Natalie Powell. Kenroy Vassell with distinction. Denisha Williams with distinction. We will now have a virtual presentation of graduates from the open campus.
Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership, Sherwayne Arthurs. Afia Bihari with distinction, Shanda Shalwell Walters. Florencio Koch. Clifford Kuhlman with distinction, Princess Delvaux. Vanessa Griffiths Cornwall. Charla Hobson. Rayadonna Howell. Robin Joseph Nathaniel. Giovanna Muti. Melissa Ramlogan Ramutar. Orvis Williams. Master of Science, Management Studies, Sebastian Cab with distinction, Carlisha Francisco. Ansia Jones with distinction, Michelle Joseph with distinction, Kimana Julian. Ruiz Philip Thomas with distinction, Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Tashana Bryan with distinction, Serafina Felix. Bethany George Brooks with distinction, Karen Lake Bailey. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing, Roxanne Campbell. Nadira Singh. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management, Cheyenne Date with distinction, Deandra Gibbs. Colonel Job with distinction, Tamika Joseph Burke. Junella Maglore Trotman. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management, Juliet Aline with distinction, Emile Dugan with distinction, Julia Richards with distinction.
Chancellor, I now call on Professor Audrey Henry Lee, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of higher degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
From the Mona campus, sir, for the Doctor of Philosophy, I present Stephen Campbell, Social Policy.
Our society. Congratulations.
Aisha Facey, Sociology.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations.
Zudi Monroe, organizational behavior.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations.
Joanna Simpson, government.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. Well done.
Bridget Williams, organizational behavior.
I recognize your advancement in our society. Congratulations. Well done. I now call on the President of the UWI Alumni Association, Jamaica Chapter, Mr. Dwayne Haynes, to lead the graduates in reciting the Alumni Pledge.
Good evening to all. It is my distinct pleasure to invite the graduating class of 2022 to stand and recite together the UWI Alumni Pledge, which can be found on page 98 of the graduation program. Whilst you locate the pledge, I would like to officially welcome you to the UWI Alumni family. I invite you to become engaged alumni who show Pelican pride and are involved in the life of the campus as guest speakers, supporters of sport and hall events, mentors, recruiters, promoters, and advocates of the university, and much more. Let us now begin to say the pledge together. As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment of excellence of the light rising from the West. As I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region, I will strive to ensure the UWI's place as a Caribbean icon, the catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will help proudly build for future generations. The UWI, first in our hearts and first in our region. Heartiest congratulations to you all.
We will now sing the university song. It's on page 99 of the program, and the university singers will lead us.
University of the West Indies.
This brings us to the end of the public ceremony by which the university acknowledges and signals the awards of degrees, diplomas, and certificates. But before you leave, I would like to ask you to do one last thing. This is a momentous day for you, having graduated. But for your parents, your loved ones, your family, this is an equally important day. Many of them have dreamt of this day since the day you were born. So I will ask you to turn, face your family and friends at the rear of the auditorium and give them an almighty round of applause. This marks the end of the ceremony. I'll ask you to please allow us to leave with our invited guests and the platform party. And I wish you a wonderful life and a happy life which you justly deserve. All the best. Goodbye.